Absolute certainty that your private information remains completely shielded, even while it's being actively processed. It sounds almost futuristic, right?
Oh,
A level of privacy that goes far beyond just locking a door. It's more like performing, I don't know, complex surgery inside a safe without ever needing to open it.
yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into something truly groundbreaking, the Zama protocol. This isn't just another incremental tech update, it's a foundational technology. It promises to fundamentally change how we interact with our data, especially, in the rapidly evolving worlds of blockchain and artificial intelligence.
And our mission for you today is to really unpack exactly what Zama, this open source cryptography company, and their flagship protocol are all about. We've got a comprehensive stack of sources right here, and we're going to guide you through its core purpose, try to demystify the underlying technology.
Which sounds pretty complex.
And it can be, but we'll break it down. We'll explore its incredible real-world applications and ultimately help you grasp its profound significance in our increasingly data-driven society. We'll simplify those complex cryptographic concepts, point out the crucial aha moments, and make sure you walk away not overwhelmed, but genuinely well-informed.
Yeah?
What we'll be focusing on is how this protocol leverages a cutting-edge technique called fully homomorphic encryption, or FHE. This allows data to be processed while remaining encrypted, securing sensitive information even during computation.
Right, during the actual work.
Exactly. Think of it as the crucial privacy layer, ready to integrate into existing blockchain networks like, say, Ethereum and Solana, and also to protect data privacy during those intensive machine learning processes often used in AI. So yeah, let's truly delve into this.
Okay, let's start with the big picture.
Mhm.
Data privacy. It feels like a constant uphill battle, doesn't
Yeah, it
it?
really does.
Every single day, we're sharing more and more of our lives online, from the mundane details of our daily habits to highly sensitive financial records and deeply personal medical information. It's all out there, often vulnerable to hacking, insidious surveillance, or just outright misuse.
Yeah.
Just think about the sheer volume of news headlines we constantly see regarding massive data breaches and widespread privacy concerns. It impacts everyone, from global corporations down to your local small business. It's this relentless challenge to keep our personal information safe, often relying on large entities to protect us. And, well, as we've seen countless times, that doesn't always go as planned.
No, it certainly doesn't.
It often feels like we're playing defense in a game where the rules are constantly changing.
And that feeling, that sense of constant vulnerability, is precisely the problem Zama set out to solve. What's fascinating here, I think, is Zama's foundational belief that privacy should be a fundamental default, not an optional add-on or some burdensome afterthought you tack on later.
Built in from the start.
Exactly. They recognized this monumental challenge back when they were founded in 2020, and their mission became incredibly clear: to make privacy effortless, automatic, and truly built into every digital system from the ground up. This represents a profound philosophical shift, really, moving from a reactive privacy by policy approach where you basically just trust a company's promises.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, hope for the best. To a proactive privacy by design where the technology itself actually enforces confidentiality regardless of who is handling the data.
That's a critical distinction, moving from hoping for privacy to having it intrinsically guaranteed by the tech itself. But tell me, how do they even begin to approach something like that? It sounds almost, well, impossible. I mean, if you're trying to work with data, how can you possibly do that without actually seeing it?
It's an excellent question, and it really gets to the core of the problem they're tackling.
Yeah.
To illustrate, let's imagine you're sending a highly sensitive secret message to a friend. Naturally, you encrypt it so no one else, not even the messenger delivering it, can read its contents. Standard stuff.
Okay, makes sense.
But here's the twist Zama addresses. You also want that messenger, or maybe some neutral third party, to perform a specific task with that message, like, say, counting the number of words, or perhaps verifying a specific phrase is present without ever actually decrypting or seeing the message itself.
Ah, okay. So you want them to do work on the secret.
Precisely. With traditional encryption, you'd have to decrypt it for the task to be performed, creating that moment of vulnerability we talked about.
Right.
This is exactly the impossible problem Zama aims to solve, moving far beyond mere encryption at rest or in transit. The Zama protocol is precisely that magical lockbox, or, maybe more accurately, that fundamental privacy layer for your data. It enables others, whether they're blockchain validators, AI models, or cloud computing services, to perform computations and work with your information while it remains completely secure and unseen.
Wow.
This capability is a game changer for entire industries, particularly in sectors like finance, healthcare, and sensitive government operations, where the confidentiality of data isn't just important, it's absolutely critical and often legally mandated.
You mean like IPRA or GDPR?
Exactly. In finance, it means truly confidential transactions and smart contracts on public blockchains. In healthcare, it allows for sophisticated processing of patient data without exposing it to anyone. And in governance, it could enable truly private yet verifiably secure online voting systems. This revolutionary capability to compute on encrypted data without ever exposing the plaintext is what truly makes Zama's approach so groundbreaking.
Okay, so this magic lockbox sounds incredibly powerful. How exactly does Zama pull off this feat? I imagine it relies on some incredibly advanced cryptography you mentioned, fully homomorphic encryption.
That's the one, FHE.
Could you help us unpack that without needing a PhD in cryptography? Maybe use that brilliant analogy we discussed earlier.
Absolutely. This raises the important question.
Right.
What exactly is FHE, and how does it work its magic? Let's use a simple, relatable analogy to make it crystal clear. Imagine you have a deeply private diary secured inside a very sturdy locked safe.
Oh,
Okay.
got a locked diary.
Now, let's say you want a trusted librarian who is excellent at their job, but absolutely should not have access to your personal thoughts to perform a simple task. Count how many times you've written a specific word, let's say happiness, inside that diary.
Okay, count happiness, but keep the diary locked. Sounds impossible.
Normally, yes. With any traditional safe or traditional encryption, if you wanted the librarian to do this, you'd have no choice but to unlock the safe, pull out the diary, and expose all your private thoughts for them to perform their task. This is exactly how traditional encryption works in the digital world. Data is decrypted, processed in its raw, vulnerable form, and then maybe re-encrypted afterwards.
That moment of decrypt.
Exactly. That moment creates a significant point of vulnerability,
Mm.
an attack surface where your sensitive information could be exposed to the system, the cloud provider, potentially even malicious actors.
Right.
Now, with fully homomorphic encryption, or FHE, it's like giving that librarian a very special magical pair of gloves.
Magical gloves. Okay.
These gloves are unique because they allow the librarian to reach inside the locked safe and manipulate the diary and count the word happiness without ever actually opening the safe.
Whoa.
Seriously, the diary remains securely locked, completely unseen by the librarian. They only ever get the final count, not any of the intimate contents of your diary. The crucial point here is that your diary's contents remains encrypted throughout the entire process. From the moment it's handled by the magical gloves, through the counting, and even when the final result of the computation is produced. It's a continuous, unbroken chain of privacy.
That's fascinating. So the key is that the data stays encrypted even during computation. That's a huge leap from just encryption at rest or in transit, which is what most of us are familiar with, right?
Exactly. That's the fundamental difference.
But let's be realistic. FHE has historically been notoriously slow, almost like a theoretical concept for practical use. What's been the biggest hurdle in making FHE practical, and how has Zama overcome that to make this truly viable for real-world applications?
You've hit on one of the biggest historical challenges FHE has faced, and it's a critical point. For a long time, FHE was indeed considered too computationally expensive, too slow, and frankly, too resource-intensive for widespread practical applications outside of academic research labs.
Right, like a cool idea, but not usable.
Pretty much. It was mind-bending in theory, but just cumbersome in practice. What's truly groundbreaking is Zama's dedication to making FHE practical and performant for the real world. They've invested heavily in cutting-edge research and development, constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
So they focused on speed.
Speed and efficiency, yes. The result, they've actually improved FHE performance by an astounding 100 times since their inception.
100 times. That's huge.
It's massive. To put that into perspective, imagine a complex calculation that used to take, say, 100 hours, now taking just 1 hour.
Wow. Okay, that changes things.
It absolutely changes things. This significant leap means FHE can now handle demanding real-world applications efficiently. We're talking complex financial transactions requiring rapid processing on a blockchain, or the incredibly data-intensive training of large-scale AI models. This massive performance improvement is what truly transforms the Zama protocol from a theoretical marvel into a viable, deployable solution for everyday use. It moves it out of the academic papers and onto potentially your digital devices.
That performance leap is genuinely game-changing. So we've got these magic gloves of FHE allowing computation on encrypted data faster now. But the real ingenuity, I imagine, is where Zama applies this, especially in the world of decentralized systems like blockchains. How does Zama actually integrate this powerful core technology to make our digital lives, particularly on blockchains, more private?
That's exactly right. FHE is the engine, you could say. And the Zama protocol is the vehicle designed to bring that engine to existing digital roads, especially blockchain highways. It acts like a sophisticated privacy shield specifically engineered to integrate pretty seamlessly with existing blockchain networks.
Like the ones people already use.
Yes, exactly. We're talking about chains you might already know, like Ethereum or other Ethereum virtual machine, EVM compatible chains. This is a massive advantage because it means Zama doesn't require developers to build entirely new infrastructure from scratch, which, typically slows down adoption significantly.
Okay, less friction.
Less friction. It layers on top, making the transition much smoother for developers and projects. And this seamless integration allows developers to create something truly revolutionary: confidential smart contracts.
Okay, confidential smart contracts.
Yeah.
Break that down.
Think of these as the self-executing digital agreements that run on a blockchain, but with a super-powered privacy feature built in. All the sensitive data involved within these contracts, like specific transaction amounts, the precise identities of the parties involved, or the exact conditions that trigger the contract, remains completely encrypted throughout its entire lifecycle on the chain.
So the logic runs, but the data stays hidden.
Precisely. So while the underlying logic and the execution of the contract might be transparent and verifiable on the public ledger, which is good for trust, the sensitive data it operates on stays absolutely private.
That's fascinating. Let's really break down mechanics here.
Mhm.
When I, as a user, interact with an application built on Zama, what's happening step by step? Walk us through this privacy shield in action, from my device all the way to the blockchain and back.
Excellent question. Let's trace the journey of your data with Zama from your initial action all the way through the blockchain. We can maybe use that sealed letter analogy we touched on.
Yeah, that helped.
Okay, step one. The first crucial step happens right on your device, before anything goes anywhere. When you initiate any interaction with an application built on the Zama protocol, whether it's sending a specific amount of cryptocurrency, sharing sensitive personal details for some service, or even casting a vote, your data is immediately encrypted.
Right there on my phone or computer.
Exactly. And this isn't just any encryption, it's FHE, the magic gloves encryption we talked about. And critically, it happens before your data even leaves your device, and certainly before it's sent over the network to the blockchain. This ensures that no one, not even your internet service provider sniffing the traffic, can see the raw, unencrypted data from the very beginning. It's like sealing your confidential letter before it ever enters the postal system.
Okay, sealed before sending. Step 2.
Step 2. Once your encrypted data is sent to the blockchain, the network needs to process it, right? This is where Zama's specialized framework, called SHEVM, comes into play. SHEVM stands for Fully Homomorphic Ethereum Virtual Machine. It's essentially a custom-built, highly optimized environment designed to handle these complex encrypted computations directly on Ethereum-compatible blockchains.
So the blockchain itself can use the magic gloves.
Kinda, yeah. So for example, if you're making a confidential transfer of money, the blockchain can verify you have sufficient funds and update balances by performing mathematical operations like addition or subtraction directly on the encrypted values. It never sees the actual amounts involved.
Those the math works out.
Exactly. It defies traditional computing logic, allowing computations to proceed on scrambled data while preserving the integrity of the calculation. Step 3, and this is arguably the most critical takeaway, is the end-to-end privacy. Your data remains encrypted throughout its entire journey. This means it's encrypted when it's sent from your device, it stays encrypted when it's processed by the SHEVM on the blockchain, and it remains encrypted when it's stored as part of the blockchain's permanent, immutable record.
Always encrypted.
Always. Only the intended recipient, who possesses the unique decryption key, can ultimately unlock and view the final result of the computation or the original unencrypted data. This is fundamentally important because it means even the blockchain validators, the decentralized computers that maintain the network and process transactions, cannot see the sensitive information.
Even the miners or stakers.
Correct. This preserves privacy in a system that is, by design, inherently transparent. It strikes a truly unique and powerful balance between verification and confidentiality.
Okay, in step 4, you mentioned compatibility.
Right. Step 4, compatibility. An important strategic aspect of Zama's approach is its seamless compatibility. Unlike some privacy solutions that might require entirely new blockchain infrastructures, Zama is designed to work with existing, widely adopted blockchain networks. This means developers don't have to rebuild entire systems from scratch, nor do users necessarily have to migrate to entirely new ecosystems. Zama integrates directly with Ethereum, the largest smart contract platform, and they have concrete plans to support other major networks like Solana.
So it meets developers where they are.
Exactly. This broad compatibility ensures versatility and significantly eases the path to adoption for developers, allowing them to leverage their existing knowledge and infrastructure within the decentralized space. So when you think about it, it's truly like sending that sealed letter through a post office. The clerks representing the blockchain network and its validators can efficiently sort your letter, know where it's going, and how to route it through the complex postal network, all without ever opening the envelope to read its contents.
They just handle the sealed envelope.
Precisely. The Zama protocol ensures your digital interactions maintain this exact level of privacy while still functioning perfectly within the decentralized and transparent environment of a blockchain. It keeps the integrity and verifiability of the network, but the content of your actions can remain private.
That's a powerful analogy that really drives it home. Okay, so we've seen how Zama works, the incredible magic behind the curtain with FHE, and how it ingeniously layers onto blockchains. But in a landscape crowded with privacy solutions, what truly sets Zama apart? It's clearly not just about simple encryption. It seems like a powerful combination of features that pushes the boundaries of what's possible in digital security, offering maybe a more complete solution than many alternatives.
You're right to ask what makes it stand out. There are other approaches to privacy out there, like zero-knowledge proofs, for instance.
Right, ZK proofs are big right now, too.
They are, and they're powerful for proving something without revealing the data. FHE is different because it allows computation on the encrypted data itself. So what's truly innovative here are the specific attributes that coalesce to make the Zama protocol such a robust and forward-thinking solution, really distinguishing it. First, and this is the foundational pillar of Zama's offering, is end-to-end encryption, but specifically encompassing computation. This isn't just a buzzword. It means data is encrypted from the very moment it's created on your device, staying encrypted throughout its journey, including during processing, and only decrypted by its final, intended, and authorized recipient. No one in between, not the network, not the cloud provider, not the blockchain validators, not even Zama itself can access the raw, unencrypted information without explicit permission and the unique decryption key.
The continuous encryption is key.
It is. This is especially vital for highly sensitive applications like intricate financial transactions, where privacy breaches can have severe economic consequences, or for detailed medical data analysis, where patient confidentiality is absolutely paramount and legally required. It fundamentally rebuilds trust in digital interactions by making privacy an inherent state.
That end-to-end guarantee for sensitive data is huge, no doubt. But what about getting different parts of a decentralized system to talk to each other if everything is encrypted? Doesn't that create a massive challenge for interoperability? How can apps work together?
Another excellent and a very insightful question, because isolated privacy isn't always useful. That's precisely where Zama introduces its second key feature: composability. This attribute is truly innovative and absolutely essential for the future of decentralized applications, or DApps. It means the protocol allows different applications built on the blockchain to work together seamlessly and share necessary computational results or information, even while their underlying sensitive user data remains completely encrypted.
Okay, how does that work? Give me an example.
Sure. Think about the nightmare scenario for traditional systems. Disparate applications needing to share just one piece of data without revealing everything else. Historically, that's either impossible without decrypting all the data, or it presents a massive security and privacy risk. Zama's composability changes that paradigm entirely. For example, imagine a decentralized lending application needs to verify a user's credit score from a separate confidential identity management application on the same network.
Right, two different apps, both holding private data.
Exactly. With Zama, these two applications could interact and exchange only the necessary outcome. For instance, a simple yes-no on creditworthiness, or maybe the calculation of a loan term based on encrypted inputs, without either application ever exposing the actual sensitive financial or personal data that each holds privately.
So they communicate via encrypted results.
Essentially, yes. They operate on encrypted data and can pass encrypted results or proofs derived from those computations between each other securely. It enables a truly modular and privacy-preserving digital economy, which is a huge leap from today's siloed and often risky data sharing practices.
So it's about enabling secure, private interactions across different applications. That makes a lot of sense for building a complex, decentralized world. And I know the blockchain space is often fragmented, different chains, ecosystems. Does Zama's solution only work for, say, Ethereum, or is it designed for broader reach?
Your intuition is spot on about fragmentation. That leads us to the third crucial feature, cross-chain compatibility. As we touched upon earlier, Zama is not limited to a single blockchain ecosystem. It's designed to work across multiple networks, initially focusing on Ethereum and EVM-compatible chains, but with clear plans to support others, including major players like Solana.
So developers aren't locked in.
Exactly. This flexibility is a huge advantage for developers as it allows them to build solutions that are not siloed within one specific environment. Instead, their applications can potentially reach a broader audience and leverage the unique strengths of different blockchain infrastructures, ensuring versatility and significantly wider adoption without needing to rewrite entire code bases for each chain they want to support. This truly positions Zama as a foundational layer rather than a niche solution tied to one chain. Fourth, and absolutely critical for widespread adoption beyond the academic or specialized cryptography circles, is developer-friendly tools. Zama isn't just building a cutting-edge protocol, they're actively building an entire ecosystem specifically designed to lower the barrier to entry for developers who aren't necessarily FHE experts.
Making it easier to actually use this stuff.
What precisely? They provide powerful open source libraries like TFHE-RS, which is a high-performance Rust implementation of FHE Rust being a popular language for performance-critical systems. And they offer Concrete ML, a framework specifically tailored for privacy-preserving machine learning using FHE. The explicit goal here is to make it easy for developers to integrate FHE into their applications without needing to be deep cryptography experts themselves. This democratizes access to advanced privacy technology, moving it from the realm of specialized academics to everyday software engineers, which should accelerate innovation across the board.
That's a brilliant move, democratizing such complex tech. Makes total sense.
Right.
But let's look further down the road, maybe to an even more significant threat, quantum computing. We hear a lot about how quantum computers could potentially break many current encryption methods. Is Zama thinking about that, or is that a problem for another day?
That's a vital forward-looking question, and it brings us to a truly critical feature: quantum-proof security. As quantum computing advances, and it's advancing incredibly quickly, many traditional encryption methods, the ones upon which much of our current digital security relies, face a looming risk. They could become vulnerable to new, powerful attacks from these machines.
Like RSA encryption.
Exactly. Algorithms like RSA or ECC, which underpin things like HTTPS and secure transactions today, could potentially be broken if quantum computers become powerful and stable enough. The security of our entire digital infrastructure could be compromised.
Scary thought.
It is. But FHE, as utilized by the Zama protocol, is based on different mathematical principles, specifically lattice-based cryptography, which are widely believed and rigorously researched to be resistant to attacks from both classical and quantum computers. This makes the Zama protocol a truly future-proof solution for data security, providing long-term peace of mind and protecting our sensitive information against the computing power of tomorrow. It's not a problem for another day. It's a fundamental property they're building on right now, ensuring the longevity and resilience of the privacy solutions they enable.
Wow. Okay, so quantum resistance is baked in.
Baked in. These features combine the end-to-end encryption during computation, the composability, the cross-chain approach, the developer tools, and the quantum resistance really demonstrate Zama's comprehensive commitment. They're building privacy-focused applications that are not only inherently secure from present and future threats, but also scalable, highly compatible with existing digital infrastructures, and accessible for developers to implement, paving the way for a new era of secure digital interaction.
Now that we truly understand the what and the how of the Zama protocol, let's explore the so what. Where can we realistically expect to see this revolutionary technology make a tangible difference in our lives? This is where it gets really exciting, I think, because the applications seem incredibly diverse, potentially unlocking entirely new possibilities by embedding privacy directly into blockchain and AI systems. We're talking about fundamental shifts in how entire industries could operate.
You're absolutely right. This raises the important question. What kind of practical impact can we expect from a technology like this, and in which specific sectors? The Zama protocol unlocks a vast array of new use cases by making privacy a default feature in areas where it was previously challenging, computationally infeasible, or even impossible to maintain alongside the functionality people need. Let's start with blockchain and finance, a sector where the demand for privacy often clashes with the inherent transparency of public ledgers.
Yeah, the transparency is a double-edged sword there.
Exactly. So imagine confidential payments. Currently, on a public blockchain like Ethereum, if you send, say, 100 Ether, anyone with a block explorer can see that transaction, your address, the recipient's address, and the exact amount.
Totally public.
Totally public, which is fantastic for verifying the network's integrity, but it's a nightmare for businesses, high net worth individuals, or frankly, anyone who simply wants financial privacy. It's like conducting all your banking in a public square.
Not ideal.
Not ideal at all. What Zama enables is a true revolution here. Imagine being able to send that same 100 Ether, or perhaps a stablecoin pegged to the British pound, but all those critical details, the amount, the sender, the recipient, remain completely encrypted on the public ledger. The network still processes and verifies the transaction using FHE, but it does so without ever seeing the sensitive data.
So it's like sending cash, but digitally and verifiably.
That's a great analogy. It's like sending cash in a digital, tamper-proof envelope, allowing for truly discrete financial interactions within a transparent system. This is ideal for truly private financial transactions, payroll, anything where confidentiality matters.
So it maintains privacy for individual transactions. That's a huge step forward for financial applications on public blockchains.
Oh.
But what about more complex agreements, like loans or insurance policies, that typically involve even more sensitive data points?
Precisely. That leads us directly to confidential smart contracts. Businesses can create highly complex financial agreements directly on the blockchain, think sophisticated loans with custom terms, intricate insurance contracts based on private data, or even tokenizing real-world assets like property or invoices, all without revealing the sensitive underlying details to the public.
So a company can run its logic on-chain securely.
Exactly. For instance, a traditional bank could issue a stablecoin on a public blockchain while ensuring full compliance with stringent financial regulations, know your customer, anti-money laundering, without ever exposing the underlying user data or proprietary transaction logic publicly. It allows for transparency of the process and verifiable execution, but absolute confidentiality of the sensitive data within. This opens up entirely new markets for decentralized finance, DeFi, that were previously considered too sensitive for public ledgers. Another crucial application area is on-chain identity and proof of humanity. This is a big challenge in Web3.
Yeah, knowing you're dealing with a real person, not a bot army.
Right. The Zama protocol can help verify if a user is genuinely human, not a sophisticated bot or an automated script, without actually revealing their specific identity or any personal identifiers on-chain. This is absolutely crucial for things like secure online voting systems, ensuring one person, one vote, while maintaining voter anonymity. It's also vital for preventing fraud in DeFi applications, where anonymous actors could otherwise exploit the system through Sybil attacks, where one attacker creates tons of fake identities or other malicious behaviors without accountability. Zama allows proving properties about identity without revealing the identity itself.
That's really important for building trust in these systems.
Hugely important. And looking maybe a bit further out, for what are termed network states, these are essentially online communities or organizations building their own decentralized governance systems, economies, or registries on public blockchains. Zama offers a way to keep sensitive internal data private. This means they can leverage the security comprehensive, always-on privacy layer for the internet.
HTTPZ, a fully encrypted internet, from creation through computation. That's a monumental goal, truly redefining the very fabric of our digital interactions. It sounds like they're well equipped to tackle it too, given the funding and partnerships we've discussed. They seem serious.
They certainly seem serious and well-resourced. To achieve this monumental goal, Zama is well-positioned, having secured significant funding. They recently completed that substantial $57 million Series B round, contributing to an impressive total of around $150 million raised to date. This substantial capital will allow them to continue to hire top talent in cryptography and engineering, accelerate their cutting-edge research to further improve FHE performance and usability, and continue to expand their vibrant developer ecosystem, ensuring they have the resources and the community support to push towards that ambitious HTTPZ vision. The aspiration is nothing short of fundamentally redefining how we interact with technology, making privacy not just an optional feature, but a foundational, built-in part of every digital experience, creating an internet where privacy is the default setting, not an exception you have to fight for.
So what does all of this ultimately mean for you listening right now? We've taken a pretty deep dive into the Zama protocol, this pioneering solution that's bringing true computational privacy to the forefront of blockchain and AI technologies. It paints a picture of a potential future where your personal information is protected by default, without hopefully sacrificing the functionality, efficiency, or innovation of the digital systems you rely on every day, whether that's your online banking, your health records, or even how you participate in decentralized communities online. For developers listening, it means potentially more accessible tools to build privacy-first applications without needing to be cryptography experts, democratizing a really powerful technology. And for businesses, it offers a crucial pathway to comply with those ever-tightening data protection regulations and maybe build far greater trust with their users by prioritizing data security right at the core of their operations.
And this raises, I think, an important question for you to ponder as we wrap up. As our lives become increasingly digital and our data ever more intertwined with our identities and our daily interactions, how will the widespread adoption of technologies like the Zama protocol reshape not just our personal privacy, but the very nature of decentralized systems and the foundations of trust in the digital economy? What new applications, previously deemed too sensitive or too risky for public blockchains or cloud services due to transparency or exposure concerns, will suddenly become possible with end-to-end encryption, including computation built in? This could truly open up a new frontier for innovation and secure digital interaction in ways we maybe haven't even conceived of yet. The possibilities are, well, pretty boundless when you remove that fundamental privacy constraint.
A lot to think about there.
Definitely. To explore this revolutionary technology further, we absolutely encourage you to visit Zama.ai, that's ZAAMA.ai, and delve into their extensive documentation, which is quite good, at docs.zama.ai. The future of privacy is actively being built right now, and Zama is certainly one of the key players leading the charge.
Imagine a world where you could commercial licensing. We mentioned the open source aspect for non-commercial use.
Right, but businesses need a license. Correct. Although Zama's foundational tools are open source, commercial deployment requires a specific patent license. Now, while the strategic model is essential for Zama to fund its continuous innovation, sustain its world-leading FHE research, and protect its valuable intellectual property, it might present a consideration, a cost factor for some companies when evaluating large-scale adoption. It requires a different approach and budget consideration than purely public domain open source software they might be used to. It's a deliberate choice by Zama to ensure they can keep funding the cutting-edge research that makes FHE viable, but it's a factor for companies planning commercial integrations.
A business reality.
Your business reality. Despite these significant and real challenges, though, Zama's future vision is incredibly ambitious and truly